Let's talk about the Labour hierarchy now, shall we? In the Daily Mail. It's been, I have to say, almost a relentless campaign, has it not, against these two and the former health minister as well.
Don't forget Patricia Hewitt.
Yeah, indeed, her.
The fourth front page in, what, 6 or 7 days, but still they won't say sorry. This is
they say for 10 weeks now they've been asking questions of these three leading Labour figures.
Well, they kind of did the story in December and then all of a sudden came back to it as if they hadn't really done it very much. But in fairness to the Mail, they had gone through the archives of the NCCL, National Council Civil Liberties, Forerunner of Liberty, and found a dog-eared copy of... of an old magazine called Rights, which had a letter in from a paedophile. But I thought Harriet Harman, Jack Dromey and Patricia Hewitt, we've yet to hear from the BT board director yet, should have answered straight away, because whether you think it's a smear, as they say it is, and I think there's an element of that, nevertheless, I thought some legitimate questions were raised when the Home Office is now investigating the Paedophile Information Exchange and whether it was getting money from the state during the 1970s, actually, from during the Labour government. Ordered that inquiry after, actually, Tom Watson, a Labour MP, made some allegations. So they've come out and they've denied it all. And I think it's pretty comprehensive the way they've done it, Tory boy. But still they won't say sorry. Well, how can they say sorry if they've said they've done nothing?
It is not a smear for a newspaper to ask a series of proper forensic questions about the roles of the woman. After she's the deputy leader of the Labour Party. If Labour win the next election, anything goes wrong with Ed Miliband, she's Prime Minister, God help us. So entirely legitimate to ask questions about their role at an organisation that in the 1970s gave affiliate status to this paedophile information group. They were there, they were running it. Now, Shami Chakrabarti, who now runs what is Liberty, which was the National Council of Civil Liberties, has apologised for those decisions that were taken then. Harman doesn't think she needs to apologise. I think she does. And there are a lot of victims of paedophilia who will presumably feel the same. And they were legitimate questions. And why is it a smear to ask these questions? And the BBC, can I say, the RIVE, should be hanging their head in shame because they completely ignored this story. And it's a legitimate story.
He's just spreading it to his anti-BBC agenda. No, I think it was legitimate when he was on the board. She became the chief legal advisor. Patricia Hewitt was running it, and the Paedophile Information Exchange was an affiliate. I thought Jack Dromey said, well, actually there were 1,000 of them. And anyone could pay and join. I think that puts it in a slightly different light, but nevertheless they were there. There's no way they could affiliate now when Shami Chakrabarti's running Liberty, but they did. They did back then. They were allowed back then to do that. And it's a kind of... You would feel uncomfortable if you were part of an organisation.
Yeah. This organisation was campaigning. It was campaigning to lower the age of consent to 10. In some reports, there were suggestions they wanted it lowered to the age of 4. And Harman and Dromey were part of an organisation that gave this terrible, wicked group affiliate status. It's astonishing. And just because there were 1,000 others, Kevin, what? You would think the word paedophile in the title of the group would have raised an alarm.
Yeah, but if it was there to help people who had paedophilia, tendencies, then it's almost a support network, isn't it, really?
What,
for people to counter those feelings?
No, this organisation was campaigning to lower the age of consent even more.
I think it was a pretty libertarian free speech era as well.
They wanted the age of consent lowered to 10.
But Jack Dromey says he fought the paedophiles within...
How heroic of him.
No,
he could have said that before, Kevin, couldn't he?
He should. If
that was the case, he
should have said it last week. No,
I think they've decided they were being damaged because it wasn't just the Daily Mail. Let's look at on Sunday, the columnist in the Observer, she challenged these guys to speak out. The columnist in the Sunday Mirror, Carol Malone, did the same. There were lots of bloggers, Labour bloggers.
Would Ed Miliband have got to them, do you think, and said, come on, guys, let's just
Well, Ed Miliband was
off.
challenged about it today by your own Sky correspondent John Craig, who did a very good job, as ever. And also, there were a lot of people on the Labour blogging area talking about it and saying they've got to answer these questions.
Well,
it wasn't just the Daily Mail.
I argued last week, you've got to answer them now. Yeah. Whether you think it's a smear or not, it's on the front page of Britain's second biggest selling newspaper several days. You might think that's hysteria, you might think that's over the top, and there's a huge element of that, I believe, but you still have to answer it. You just can't ignore it.
OK, we must move on to other matters, if you don't mind.